Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make one of these 2-column herringbone weave. That's a long name. We need to come up with a shorter name. Anyway, in the preview I showed you these ones that I did as a sample to get started. So this one here was done with twin beads, and this is metallic silver. This one here is done with super duos, and it is ruby bronze iced lined. Again, very long name. Very beautiful. I love this one. It has like flecks of gold both at the holes. Let me grab one to show you at the holes of the bead. Oh, you can see right through yeah, we better take one out. It's very shiny. So at the opening of the holes, and you can kind of see there's a bit of gold flecks all over the bead. So these ones are really beautiful. And then the final one is one of my favorites, and it is opaque green iris, and these are twin beads again. And I have to say, if you're not familiar with twin beads, they are lovely. They're different than super duos only in the slightest way. They're a little more oval shape than they are. The super duos have like a pinched end on each side. For something like this design, I actually find that the twin beads sit together better in the design, and the colors are extraordinary, and they're a lot more affordable than the super duos. So there you go. So we'll put those aside. I haven't put the clasps on those yet. I left it out so that I could put a clasp on with you to show you how to do that. And that these are these fold over clasps where you sew the one side onto your beadwork, and then you put the other side on the opposite side using a pearl. Now I have a 4mm pearl. You could use a 6mm pearl if you wanted to, but I thought I kind of don't want the clasp to take away from the design, so I kind of kept it small. And then of course there's you can see how it kind of moves around a bit. There, like that. And this one I made a little big, but I have super small wrists, so it doesn't take much to make one for me. In case you're deciding to make one for me, let me show you what these look like on. Look at how amazing is that. It's hard to see when they're just sitting on a lavender mat, but that is spectacular. And you could put a couple of these on and mix and match the colors. But this is this one here. Look at how beautiful that is. Let me make sure you can see that all. Okay, so let's get started. That was the whole idea of doing a preview, to hopefully take care of the jibber jabber. And the funny thing is, in the video I was talking about the noise from the snowblower, and actually you couldn't hear a thing. It was so noisy in my office. So this is twin beads, and these are, I apologize, there should be a label in there somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. I think this would be called opaque pink, because they actually have one that's not opaque. So let's get some out. Oh, look at this one. It's like a drop. So that's the thing with twin beads. I find you do get a little more calling out, but you know what? The more I use them, first of all, some of the newer colors, I find there's really no culling at all. And then the more I use them, the less, I'm going to just move these guys here, the less important it is to cull them. They're, unless they're really wonky, you can leave them in and you don't even notice it in the pattern. Especially this pattern. I find this pattern is so forgiving. So I'm using a 8/0 white bead, and these are the Preciosa twin beads. I'm going to use a size 12 needle. You can use a larger needle. The holes are lovely big, so you don't have to. And I'm using 1G thread. I started using, you can use whatever thread you like. I started using some of the finer threads that I had that I normally use for bead embroidery. And I realized, I don't know why I wasn't using it sooner. It's nicely, has a finish on it, so it's very silky. So the beads slide on really nicely. And you're going to need your scissors. Just take that out a bit. So when it comes down to it, use the thread and needle size that you prefer. There's nothing in this design that suggests you need to do something special and have a very specific. So I am going to get a stop bead. Let's see what kind of beads I have in my train nuts. So here's just thought it was weird that I picked that up. Here's a pearl twin bead, and let me show you why I pulled it out. So I had this in my little cup with for stop beads. So you see how it's a bit high on one side and not on the other, but you know what? This would actually go in a design and you would never notice it. So let me see what I have in here. Try and get a different color. I had one out, but I used it. I think that's why. I want to use a colored one that we're going to see. There, we'll use this orange one. And I'm going to reduce this so it's not in your face. Okay, so you're going to pick up your stop bead. I've taken a wingspan of thread. Pick up your stop bead. You're going to go down and you're going to leave as much as you want on the bottom of your stop bead that you like to use for either adding a clasp, that's probably too much, adding a clasp, or just weaving in. So if you like to use the same thread, then go ahead, add about 8 inches of thread at the bottom. If not, go down to about 5 or 6 inches, maybe 5. And come back up. Let me get this up through your stop bead. Hang on to it. Bring your thread through. Oh, and look, my needle went through it, the loop. Oh, and I did it a second time. Look at that. There, like that. I'm going to pull that down. It got moved up when I was, I can't believe. I think I know how to put a stop bead on. And I'm going to tilt this down so you can see my hands fully. So you're going to start with, I am going to put 1/11 on the end. Most of the designs will say put 2, and I don't know why they say that, but I'll show you why I put one when we come back around. So put one on the end. You're going to pick up a twin bead, 2 11-ohs, a twin bead, and 2 11-ohs. Because remember, we're only doing 2 rows. So you need to start with 2 rows. Bring that down to your stop bead. So again, I'm going to show you what that looks like, because this is often where people have issues. You've got your stop bead, 1 11-oh, 1 twin bead, 2 11-ohs, 1 twin bead, 2 11-ohs. Now, if you like to keep your design with 3 beads, we'll go ahead and add a 3rd bead to this. Some people like to just use 2, and I think that's where at the bottom they get this idea of having 2 on the end, but you only need 1. Let's hang on to this. And I try to hang on to these beads at the beginning just to keep them straight. Otherwise it gets confusing where they are. So I'm going to pick up that 3rd 11-oh, and I'm going to go through the open hole. So actually, let's flip these this way. Like that. So we're going to go through this open hole. So I'm basically putting 3 beads on the end. Like that. I thought using these pinks would be easier to see, but they're quite light. Pick up 1 11-oh and 1 twin bead. You're coming out of this upper hole. You're going to go to this second 11-oh bead, and we're also going to go through the top hole of this twin bead, but we'll put it through first. You can maneuver it, but it's going to adjust your tension in your thread, which we don't want to do. So pull that all the way through. There we go. So we just went through this seed bead, so we're going to go through this twin bead, the top hole of that twin bead. So that's what you should have. And let's move these guys there. So now we're going to pick up an 11-oh and a twin bead. We're going to go through this last bead here. I'm going to hang on to everything. I want it to stay in the right orientation. So now if you look at this, you can kind of see you have a twin bead, that's one column. Then you have a twin bead, that's another column. So now we're going to come up, and I like to put have 3 beads on my edge, but you can do 2 if you want. So I'm going to do the next 2 because there's one there already. Go through the top hole of that twin bead. Like that. Pick up an 11-oh, a twin bead. Now it's going to get a lot easier. So you're going through the 11-oh and the twin bead next to, and you're going through the top hole of that. like that. Pick up an 11-0 twin bead. You're going to go through just this one 11-0. So it's starting to look a little more like something. It's hard to picture it at the beginning. So now we're going through that one bead. We want to add 2 beads to give us our 3 beads on the edge. Go through that top hole of that twin bead. That gives us the embellishment. We're going to pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. We're going to go through the 11-0 and angle your needle to go through the next twin bead open hole like that. Hang on to your work. And you can kind of pull your thread over so that that twin bead sits over. Pick up an 11-0. Move these guys over. A twin bead. And you're going to go through this 11-0 here. So this design might look more confusing because you're always on the edges, you're always going through just an 11-0 and not an 11-0 and a twin bead. So the larger, wider designs, you go through multiple times through an 11-0 and a twin bead. On this design, you don't. You just do it the once every row. So now we're going to pick up 2 beads. We're going to turn around. So now we have 1 and 2 gives you 3 like that. Just going to hang on to that so I can pull it tight like that. Now we're going to pick up an 11-0 and a twin bead. This is the one that's going to go through both. So you're coming out of this hole here. You're going to go through this 11-0 and through the open hole of that twin bead that's in the next column. Like that. And you can, like I said, you can pull your thread over and it will close that down in. Pick up an 11-0 and a twin bead. And we're just going to go through the single 11-0. And pull that tight. That's what you have. Pick up 2 11-0s, because with the third one here, that gives us our 3, kind of like a picot effect. So if you're really skilled at doing this too, where you're not going to get confused, you could always change and just put the edge beads, put them a certain color, and then these inside, these 11-0 beads in the middle, you can change the color of that to give it an accent strip through the middle. Pick up an 11-0, pick up a twin bead. You're going to go through this 11-0 and through this open hole of the twin bead. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. You're going to go through this single 11-0. That. Now we're going to add 2 11-0s. Go through the top hole of the twin bead we just put on. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. Go through the 11-0 and the open hole of that twin bead. That. I'm going to tighten this so it doesn't fall. And that's that way. Okay, so pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, and go through this single 11-0. That, pick up 2 11-0s, and let me pull this tight. Sometimes it does that because I'm purposely not hanging on to things so you can see how the beads set themselves up. But unfortunately, sometimes you do have to hold on to things. So pick up an 11-0 and a twin bead. Go through this 11-0 and through that open hole of that twin bead. That through. That. Pick up an 11-0 twin bead. Go through the next 11-0. That. And we're going to pick up 2 11-0s. Go through the open hole of the twin bead we just added. And I'm going to get that nice and snug there. Like that. And we'll just keep going. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. Go through the 11-0 in the open hole of the next twin bead. If you have problems getting this set up at the beginning, let me know and I'll do another. I feel like it was a bit wonky. I could have been a little better at showing you that. Pick up an 11-0 and a twin bead and go through the single 11-0. Pick up 2 11-0s for edge. That. Pick up an 11-0. So you can see too, once you get the groove of what you're doing. So we've got 11-0 and a twin bead. We're going to go through this 11-0 and through this twin bead. You're going through the top hole of the twin bead all the time. But you can see how fast it would be to do a bracelet with this. So 11-0 twin bead, go through the 11-0. Pick up 2 11-0s to complete our picot on the edge. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11-0 and the open hole of the next twin bead. Like that. 11-0 twin bead, go through the single 11-0. Pick up 2 11-0s, go through the top hole. So you're kind of turning around and you're going to pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through. So you're coming out of here. The next available bead to go through is the 11-0. But we're going to skip because this twin bead is actually a lower bead. We want to go through the higher beads. So we're going to go through the 11-0. Take your needle on an angle and pop through the top hole of that twin bead that's there. Just flip these around. They got twisted there like this. Okay. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. The next available bead, so here's our thread coming out of this hole. The next available bead is this one. And again, we ignore the lower ones. They're already done. We're done with those guys. Like that. Pick up 2 beads to complete the picot. So you can see here now it's starting to really look neat, this kind of rounded picot look. So I have 2 beads, go through the top hole, and this is our turnaround as well on this side. So then we pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11-0 and through the top hole of the next twin bead, pick up an 11-0, twin bead, go through the single 11-0, that. Now we need to complete our picot, so we're going to pick up 2 11-0s. We're turning around and going through the top hole of the twin bead. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, and your thread's coming out of this top hole. We're going to go through the very next bead that's available, which is the 11-0, and we're going to go on an angle so that we can go through the top hole of the twin bead. And this is just because I'm going slow, it's getting a little wonky. So now we need to add another one of these twin beads. So we've got a 11-0 twin bead coming out of this hole. We're going to go through this 11-0 like that. Now complete our picot, give 2 11-0s. I was hoping to do a bit of like a Barbie look with these colors, but the pink needs to be like fuchsia maybe. It's still pretty, I like it. So pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11-0 and the top hole of the next twin bead. That. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through this 11-0. There, like that. And you can turn this around every time you work. I usually leave it to show you, because sometimes you miss me turning it and then you're like, how come she's going through that bead? So let's try it this way too. I'll try turning it a couple of times. Pick up 2 11-0s, go through that top hole. So we've got our little picot happening. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11-0 and the twin bead, top hole. Like that. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through that single 11-0, and I'm going to turn it around. It'll make more sense to you. Pick up 2 11-0s, because now our thread's coming out of here. We want to create the picot on the edge. Go through the top hole of the twin bead. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. Go through the 11-0 and through the top hole of the next twin bead. Like that. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. Our thread's coming out of that top hole of that twin bead. We're going to go through the 11-0. Pull it tight, turn it around. Finish off our picot. So we just need 2 beads there. Like that. I'm going to hang on to it. So sometimes this is where your tension changes. So if you notice that these beads are not lined up properly, you can go ahead and take your thread here and pull that in. I'll show you. So say something like this happens. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? Pull this thread and it'll pull everything tight in that last row. And then just pop that in. So keep going. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11-0 and the twin bead. That. And again, if you find that this is too loose for you, you just do this, pull these guys, and then hang on to your work and then pull. And it'll make it tighter. But this weave, I find, is very loose, and it's possible that you see there's thread on either side of this 11-0. These are, I think they're Miyuki 11-0s. They're a little bit smaller. If I were to use a Toho, that would fit in that hole a little better. Now we can just move that over. And you know what? At a distance, you don't notice those gaps. It's just, I have the camera really exaggerated so that you can see it. So I've got a 11-0 and a twin bead. I'm going to go through this bead here. Okay. I'll continue by holding it on the same side. Add the 2 to finish off your picot. Pick up an 11-0, a twin bead, go through the 11, through the through the twin bead. 11, twin, go through the single 11-0. Pick up 2. I'm going to go a little faster now. I was thinking we'd finish this bracelet up on camera, but I think it's a little, it's about an hour long to make this. So I've got an 11-0 and a twin bead. Go through the 11-0 and the twin bead. Like that. 11-0, twin, go through the 11. So I might just stop it here and on this one, and we'll add a clasp to the other. I think I like to finish with my picot finishing. That. There. And take a look. This is going to look lovely. Look at that. Oh, really nice. Pretty. Okay. So I'm going to get my needle off of this, and we're going to, I think we'll try here's something else I tried, and I'm not sure I like it as much as I added these beads all the way around. That was super difficult. So I think that's when I stopped doing this. I was going to show you guys sooner. And I was like, everybody's going to ask me how to do this. And I'm like, I can't remember. It's basically just going up and through all the way, which is a pain in the butt. So I think we'll go to this one. It'll be easier to do. So let's move these out of the way. I have a few more finished designs for you, so I'm hoping to get those out to you before the new curiosity box comes out, because I apologize, the curiosity box comes out and I'm like just totally involved. I have so much fun with the creative aspect of it. So here's the thing with these. You can put whatever clasp you want on here. And if you're not sure how to attach, just remember to weave your thread through the twin beads to hold them on so that you're not like holding on to a single 11-0 like this. Okay. So that's, I guess, the best advice I could give you for that. Now, these are just lovely, these fold over clasps. So these are a great way. So let me see. I think I'd like to so here's the other thing. These are not quite even, because if you wanted to attach your clasp exactly even, you might want to attach this pearl and this right somewhere in here, right? Between the seed bead and the thing. That's not really going to work. So the best way to do that is to put it at the lower bead. And I'll show you on this one. Actually, what I did with this one, this was very smart of me. It looks like, let me flip this the other way. That makes more sense. I think I added another. No, I think what I did was I took this one here, see how loose it is? And I kind of pushed it out this way and added beads across. So I added 2 there and 1 there. Because that looks like it's in the middle. Let's see. And you know what? I didn't pull out these beads. Just hang on one sec. Okay. I've been sorting my beads and organizing them and stuff, and normally I have them in tubes like this, but this takes up a lot of room and I haven't figured out how to I'm building something that will hold all of these tubes so you can see them, but anyway, so this is in a little container. We don't need that many of them. That should be enough. These are beautiful. I love these inside silver lined. And we need some thread. Let me grab. I'm going to grab this thread. The other thing is I usually leave some thread on either end so that I can work in. So let's do this. So I'm going to come down really low and weave through, just because I want to make sure that this is not, if it gets hooked on something, it's not going to pull my bracelet apart. So let me see. Let's go through here, and I don't know if you can see that, but that's pretty low. I'm going to leave a little bit here so I can hang on to, but I am going to create a thread bridge here and do this, pull it through, and then go up through these beads and try and weave through. I'll probably put another knot somewhere. There. So you see that's it's not going to go anywhere. Cut those off. Let's go through. This is actually going across. I'm following the weave on this one. I am going to create a knot here. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a thread bridge, wrap that around just the once, pull that through while holding it with my thumb. And I think this is secure enough. I'm going to cut it now. Okay, and go through this edge, this picot edge. So we're almost at the top. I'm going to go through and make my way up to the top. That. And we're going to come around to the last picot edge. That. Move that over so that maybe you could see. And continue through here. That. And come out on this one here. And I'm going to take a look and count how many beads I added on the other side. Okay, so that's this one here. So I'm going to add 2 beads, the pearl, 1 bead, and I think I need to add a bead on the edge. So pick up 2 11-ohs, pick up the pearl, just double check that. One. Okay. So this is what I'm going to add. 2 11-ohs, a 4mm pearl, an 11-oh. I'm coming out of the top hole of this twin bead. I'm going to go through the top hole of this twin bead. Let's put that there. We're going to pick up another 11-oh because that's kind of open. And we're going to go through these. And now we're going to weave back around because we're going to come back a few times through that so that it's nice and secure. See, I think when I did this, what happened is this twin bead, instead of sticking this way, it started to move the other way, which is fine because it actually looks, let's see, it doesn't look too bad. So, okay, so let me weave my way through here. And you don't have to weave exactly the pattern if you want. This thread is not visible with these dark beads. So you can actually go from the one hole of the twin bead over to the next hole and then come back around. That way you can maneuver your way through the beads. That. I'm going to flip it just to make it easy. Go through here. There. Go through these guys. Now the next time we come around, we're going to add the clasp. So this is making the attachment here. This is super strong. Like I'm pulling hard and it's not moving. So that's super, super good. What you could do too is at some point in through here is maybe add a thread bridge, like a knot. So let me make my way to the other side. And when I do that, I'll find an open spot, maybe in this next one. So I'm going through the twin bead that's sitting there. I'm going to pick up a thread bridge here between the twin bead and the 11-0. So wrap the thread around, put your thumb on that so the loop doesn't grab a hold of any stray beads. Go through the 11-0 and through the twin bead. Now we're going to turn towards the pearl. The pearl doesn't quite look like it's in the middle. But like I said, it's kind of a problem with this design. Let's go through. So now we're going to go through the 11-0, the twin bead, the 11-0, and the pearl. And we are going to add our, now you have to look, there's a bar there, and there's a hole. The hole goes straight across. So when we come back down, we're going to have to remember to have our needle go on either side of the bar. So we'll start with the back. So we'll go behind the bar. When I say the back, if this part of the clasp that opens is the front and displays the crystals, that's the front. So if we were to say the front, that would be this part here, but we're going to go to the back first. Then we're going to go to the front. So when you're going to the front, because it's one big hole, you have to go through the same hole. But you want to angle your needle towards the front like this, so that it goes across the bar. Otherwise, it'll just come right off. So there you go, like that. Go through the pearl again. Pull it in. That. Now we're going to go through the back. And you can leave this loose, go through a couple of times, and then tighten everything. So now we're going to go towards the front. Make sure it went around. Let me see how snug that gets. That's perfect with that. So if we went to the front, we probably need to go through this side here. And now we can go through the 11-0s on the other side, like that. And not to worry, like initially it bothered me. You see how this is sitting on the side? That's how, because of the bar, we're crossing the bar, it's going to want to stay that way. But there is space for it to move. And when you go to put the other side of your clasp on, it's going to hold it in that position. So not to worry. If you come up with a better way to attach it, let me know. I'm always working to improve, that's for sure. But like some of the stuff is not made for all the different designs. So you kind of have to play with it and figure out what works for you. So now this is set to go. I'm going to do a thread bridge here. Put my finger there. That. Then go down. And I'm following the thread path. That. Go through here. Go through here. I might do another thread bridge here just because the old thread is there and I see it's like kind of unraveling a bit. So putting a knot there will hold that thread down like that. That's perfect. And let's go through here. This is where the needles start to bend. I don't have to tell you guys that. Let's go through here. I tend to put a few knots and a few thread bridges. It's my jam. I don't like for people to lose their bracelets. Okay, so thread bridge. This is the last one on this side, and we'll put the other. So let's just go through a few. Apologize, that's my glasses just hit the camera. That's how close I am to the camera. That was so funny that the neighbor was. So I got the scoop on why he pulled his snowblower to the side of the house and left it running. I guess he had a hard time getting it started this morning and he thought that maybe there was some bad gas in it. So he was letting it run off. And then this side. This one should be a little easier. So there's 2 holes. And I think we can get it attached through here somehow. And you don't need any extra beads. I think I need a longer piece of thread though. So I apologize, this takes a while and I should have been thinking to have my threads ready to go. But I always find that putting the clasp on takes so much longer than the actual demonstration of the design. So that part I find annoying. There's no annoying in beading. It's all fun, right? I was talking to Richard. He used to do a lot of teaching, like when they used to travel and do classes and stuff. So we were talking about stuff. He thought it was funny. What was he laughing about? Oh, he said he used to teach the ladies that he taught. He used to tell them, when it looks good enough, leave it. And that is my biggest mistake that I make every time. I'm like, let me just go a little further. I'm going to fix this. And then it just makes a mess. So it's like, if it's good enough, leave it. There's a lot of, like I said, beading is fun, but there's a lot of frustration in anything you do like that. I'm just going to make my way up the edges. Go up here. Go through this one. I was going to try and go off of just the twin bead, but I think I need to come out this way, like this. Let's see. So these are really cool. I used to get these clasps from AliExpress, but AliExpress has really expensive shipping nowadays. So I'll see if I can find them on BB Craft. These are really cool. Like didn't realize how cool these are. They are thinner on one side. That's where your clasp goes in. And of course, you don't want your clasp going over your lovely crystals too. And then you have your holes to sew. So they've really thought out these designs well. So this attaches here. Your clasp will go through the narrow part. They even have, like, all the designs are like that. This one has it. There's no crystals at the very edge here. And it's thinner for your clasp to go on like this. And then you have this beautiful design. So, okay, let's get back to it. Enough of that jibber jabber, Emma. Okay, so we are going to come back through this. I'm going to go through the top hole of the twin bead, come out the 11 O's. I'm going to go through. Let me just make sure I'm in the right spot here. You know what? I think I'm going to come back out. Here, let me. Make sure I'm coming out the right hole. I'm going to go back. I have it this way. I'm going to come between the two beads. And that should center it. And that bead will kind of go there. So go through like that. Then come back through the other hole. I'm upside down on purpose. Like this. That. So you see what I've done. So now I'm going to go through the top hole of the twin bead, and I'm going to make my way around. One more time. Let's untwist this like this. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. That's snug. Snug as a bug, and I'm going to do a knot as well. So let's find a thread bridge here. I got too many threads here. Like that. Put the thumb there. Very important. And that's, I should cut that thread off. That. There. Let me cut this one off here. Oh, this one's looking lovely. Okay. I get so excited. I think I'm going to go right through that side and come out the other side. Let's see what that does. Go through these beads. The other part is I didn't pull my thread. If you pull it between your hands, just gently, it takes that twist from the spool out of it. So when you're trying to do stuff, if you haven't done that, it's a bit of a pain. That. So I think what I'd like to do is come out these side beads and go through and maybe add a bead or two there. I feel like you can see how it's off to one side, but the holes, some of these have holes going along the side too, which prevent that from happening. So let's go through here. So go through that. Okay. Through here. Through these two. So I think if I add one bead here on this side, go through the, yeah, I think that's going to do it. And then we will add one bead. I don't know, maybe. Let's do one bead, come around, and we'll add a final bead, and it will make a straight line. I'm hoping that's going to do it. So this is what I was saying about like this design here. It's like there's a lot of like weaving in and out and over, and there's more than one way to do it. So these are the kind of designs that I kind of don't like doing on a video because it takes a while to get there, and it may not be the best. I've had people ask me for designs that I've done for a clasp, the ending, and there's one in particular I really need to do it for people who are interested, but it's like it's so hard to do in a video. But let me know what you think, if I should bother with the clasp in a video. What I'd really like to do is have a series of videos that all we do is put clasps on stuff. And the reason I say that is this way we can do all the different designs in a video. So if, like say this pattern design here, and then in another video I can do options of this. But as for part of the video, I find they take too long. Is what I'm getting at. I know you guys enjoy my jibber jabber. I enjoy yours too. I know you're out there talking to me. Here, let's go through here. Yeah, here's the other thing too, is it starts to get sticky going through this many times. So let's see. I wanted to add one more bead here to secure this. Let me see if this is going to work. There. And one on this side. I think it needs two on this side. So now that's not working. It's too much crap. You see how it's turned it down? So let me take this off the needle and pull those off. So I got a little carried away there. And I think I need to take that one off too. There. Yeah. Put this on and tie it off. So sometimes it, works. More beads. Just put more beads on there. Oh gosh. I need help. I'm going to go under. No, I don't want to put the thread across there. I thought I was going to be smart. There. Let's see if no. I was going to try and go over the twin bead, but it doesn't really. There, that should do it. It's nice and firm. Okay, let's tie this off. See what we have. Yeah, it's getting mighty stuck here. Okay. Let's get the thread bridge. Pull that in. And weave through here. Now I can see where the eye had ended a knot. Look at that. Okay, that's, I think, a time for my thread burner. No, don't do it, Emma. Oh my gosh. That worked. And I will put it in one of these picots. There. Let's get this off. Try my thread burner again. I actually prefer to use the scissors. I'm dangerous with thread burner. I think it will come in handy on the leather work. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. So, let me know if you need me to, redo the start of this. I'm sure it's fine, but sometimes it feels a bit awkward on camera for the first time. So there's that one. And that one. That's so lovely. And that. It's Move those over. And this lovely pink one that we started. So there we go. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. If you have any requests, definitely let me know. And I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe and warm inside. Take care. Bye.